things that we are showed, and we are supposed to change and not go into now we are um evil thinking of the person that is trying to show us our fault, correct us on what we do, take it to a point to where we feel like this person is doing something to us, or this person is intentionally trying to um, hurt our feelings, break us down. So that's what we're going to talk about today, about the thought of evil thinking. What is that? Because when Christ showed her or told her her fault, she didn't think evil of the Christ because he told her she was doing something wrong. Grab her book bag, grab that hat, leader hat that's Jazz hat. But we but she took it. So the same way with us. We have to learn not to take things personal when we are showed, and now we think evil of the person that is correcting us, the person that is showing us. Because what are they trying to show us?
Our faults.
Your faults. Your faults. Something about you. What does our faults do? Our faults hinder us on our walk. We got to learn to listen for the spirit of the Most High. And sometimes that can be hard, listening for the spirit of the Most High. Matthew 10. Matthew 10 and verse 20.
Matthew chapter 10 and verse 20. For it is not ye that speak, but the Spirit of your Father which speaketh in you.
So read verse 19.
But when they deliver you up, take no thought how or what you shall speak, for it shall be given you in that same hour that ye shall speak.
What ye shall speak. In that same hour, you're going to be given what to speak. So now, if this was the Christ talking to the disciples, telling them, listen, don't worry about what you need to say or what's going on. That means, and it said in that hour, in that same hour, it's going to be given to you what to say. So now, when a person come to us and they talking to us in that same hour, what happens? Something is given to them on what to say. So if they telling you that you have fought at something in that same hour, the Spirit of the Most High gave them what to say. Because according to verse 20, read 20 again.
For it is not ye that speak, but the Spirit of your Father which speaketh in you.
So when that person is given something to say in that same hour, who do we have an issue with?
Father.
We have an issue with the Father. We have an issue with what the Most High says about what that person is saying to you, or what you doing that caused that person to say something to you. Everybody in here, everybody that's on the live, everybody goes on in this earth, goes on with their life each and every day. They don't stop, blink, pause. Everybody go on with their life. Everything they do is choices that they making, things that they choose to do. So if you choose to make If you make a choice and you choose to do something that is outside of what is written in the scriptures, then you got to listen for the Lord. The Lord is going to give you the answer to what you're doing. Remember, each and every last one of us pray, right? Correct. Everybody in here pray. Some pray often than others. Some pray more than others. Some pray less. But prayer is prayer. So when you decide to pray to the Heavenly Father, guess what? You asking the Lord to answer you some shape, form, or fashion, right?
Right.
You're looking for something. So when you pray and the Lord sends someone to deliver the message to you, you gotta learn to accept what's given and not think that this person is just trying to um, say something that is mean or to hurt your feelings. So now, what is an evil thought? Shalom, 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 ladies, those that just joined. What is an evil thought? So we can lose Matthew. So Mary Magdalene, she didn't do that. Shalom. She took it. She accepted it. She accepted what she accepted her fault. She acknowledged her fault. So that's what I mean by she accepted her fault. But she also accepted the correction that was given. She accepted what she had to do. She accepted what she needed to change. She accepted the counsel that was given. She accepted the the change that she had to make. She didn't think nothing of it. She didn't think twice. And she began to work at it. So that's what we have to do. But that's not the purpose. That's not the point. The point that we are dealing with today is the evil thought process. Evil thinking. What is an evil thought?
An assumption based on not actual facts, but how you think as a person.
Okay. Speak up, say it louder.
An assumption based on
An assumption based on
assumptions.
an assumption. Okay, anybody else?
I would say to form a mental imagination.
Speak up, say it again.
I would say to form a mental imagination against somebody that's not like actual truth.
Okay, to form a mental
Like imagination.
an imagination of something against a person. A mental thought process. Anybody else?
A negative thought based off of emotions.
A negative thought, say that last part again.
Based off of emotions.
Based off of emotions. Okay. Okay, anybody else? So I think we talked about emotions before. We like, okay, what is an emotion? Feeling. Your feelings. How you feel. So it's a thought that you get into your mind based on how you feel, something you put together in your mind. What's evil about it?
Not based on facts
Okay, not based on facts.
and their wrongdoing.
Their wrongdoing. When you conjure something in your mind that's not right. Okay. Anybody else? Evil thought. What makes it evil?
It's evil because you don't have proof that it's true or not.
Okay. Evil because you don't have proof that it's true or not. Okay. That's a good one. Anybody else? Go ahead. She's like, hold on. Let me wait. Come on.
I say it's evil because the evil thought come about because you didn't correct them out of the scriptures, showing them they fault, and basically just assuming details.
Okay. An assumption. Okay.
Is it based?
You're
Is it
asking.
I was.
Okay. I'm asking you. What makes it evil?
Because you're thinking that there's transgression, any sort of law, but that's not right.
Say that again.
It's based upon any transgression, that's not right.
Okay, a transgression, that's not right. Okay. Anybody else?
Not bringing it to them, like, if you think something, you know, evil thinking of someone or the
Comes from
situation,
Satan.
that it is, you should better go to that person to confirm exactly, all depends on the situation, what they meant by, whatever either they said or what they did.
Okay. And I'm not saying those are wrong. I'm just let's think about it. Let's put our thinking caps on. Let's talk about what these things look like. Remember, these classes are for us. This is our time to speak. This is our time to. This is where the thoughts come in at. This is where you can do what you need to do. Talk about it. Let's talk about it. So,
when you I'll say when you're thinking evil about a person, you pretty much dislike them.
okay. So I said, what makes it evil?
You disliking them.
You dislike them, okay?
I was gonna say because you aren't showing love to the person, and I know that you're supposed to love your neighbor and love yourself.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. What it said. What makes it evil? Galatians 5. Galatians chapter 5. And verse 16. I'm going to read it because I'm going to jump around, okay? Galatians 5 and 16. This I say then, walk in the spirit. So what's walking in the spirit? Spirit is you the commandments. Because the spirit belongs to the Most High, right?
Yes.
So if you walking in the law, statutes, and commandments, then that means that the Lord's spirit is able to rest within you, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so it says, this I say then, walk in the spirit. You walk in the spirit by producing actions that's going to show that you represent the Most High through Yahweh. It says, and ye shall not fulfill the lusts of the flesh. So what is the lust of the flesh? Actions that come forth that displays your feelings and your emotions. Actions that display your thought process. So now, verse 17. For the flesh lusted against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh, and these are contrary one to another. They're not the same. They're two opposite, different. Verse 18. But if ye be led of the spirit, then you're not under the laws of destruction. You're not under the law of judgment. You're not under the law of transgression. Why? Because you will be walking in the spirit. The Most High is definitely dwelling with you. He's there within you. So if the Most High through Yahweh is there with you, guess what's happening? You're thinking. You're thinking about what you should do. You're thinking about how you should be. You're thinking about, you're processing your thoughts first before you make an action, before you make a move, before you say a word, right?
Right.
Now verse 19, now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these. So when we're walking in the spirit, when we're walking in our flesh, a lot of things become manifest, right? Things are being revealed, your actions. So what makes what makes a thought evil? Because it's going to be a part of the flesh. It's going to cause you to do something. It's going to cause you to change. It's going to cause you to behave in a fashion that is not right. And what will it cause you to do?
Grudge.
Say it again.
Grudge.
Grudge.
Not
Speak up.
I said grudge or not want to have anything to do with the person.
That's right. It's going to cause you to change your whole persona, your whole demeanor, your whole outlook on an individual. Because it's going to cause you to break the law. And what law is it that you'll break?
Most High law.
I know that. But what law?
Love thy neighbor.
Say it again. Hold on. One at a time. Go ahead. Shoot. No, who? Cute. Raise your hand. Shoot. What law?
The second one said the second like unto this, that you should love thy neighbor as thyself.
All right. Love your neighbors. You love yourself. What else?
You said if you didn't go to that person, if you repeat that question again?
If you are you evil thinking, it's gonna cause you to change your whole outlook of that person, the way that you deal with that person, the way that you look at that person, the way that you interact with that person. Everything that that person does is going to become a issue to you.
Matthew 18.
What it say?
Go to thy brother.
And I said, what makes it evil? What causing it? And I said, and she said, transgression of the law. I said, that's right, but which one? And somebody said, loving your neighbors, you love yourself.
Would you say love your neighbor as yourself? Like that's the second one because
Yes.
you don't want nobody to think evil of.
Right. You're not loving your neighbor as you love yourself. That's right. But what else?
Also, Leviticus 19 and 17.
what did it say?
Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart, thou shalt anyone rebuke him.
That's right. Any more?
Matthew 18 and 15.
What did it say?
Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone.
Okay.
If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother.
Thou shalt anywise rebuke thy neighbor. What did it say?
That's Leviticus 19 and 17.
There you go. Leviticus 19 and 17. If somebody do something, tell them. Instead of sitting there thinking, making your thoughts manifest within your brain because of something you don't like. You just entered into transgression of the law. So what happens when we transgress the law?
You sin.
They say what?
You sin.
We're sin. Okay, so before we do all of that, let's get a few that we just quoted and then we can move on. So let's get Leviticus 19 first because we quoted them. So let's get them so we can make sure that we put them up there. Leviticus 19. And verse 17.
Leviticus 19, verse 17.
Mm-hmm.
Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart.
Mm-hmm.
Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him.
That's right. You shouldn't hate them in your heart, in your mind. When you hold on to those things that a person has done that you don't like, instead of just saying, hey, I didn't like it, or hey, why did you do this? Hey, why did you say this? What happened? You know, it says, thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart, in your mind. Thou shalt in any wise. It doesn't matter what the situation is, in any wise rebuke thy neighbor. What is rebuke? To correct them. Say something. Point it out. Show them. Uncover it. Reprove. That is you standing in the law and not suffer sin. What is the suffering of the sin?
You allow him to.
There you go. You allow this person to do it. What will cause a person, listen closely to the question. What will cause a person to allow a person to sin?
Respect for that person.
Iterate.
They don't care anymore.
Wanting to continue to be friends.
Wanting to continue to be friends. What'd you say, cute Shell?
They don't care anymore.
They don't care. Hadaya?
I was trying to actually understand the question before I answered.
Okay, I thought you was ready.
I'm sorry.
You got the question?
I'm still listening so I can.
What will cause a person? What was the question?
What will cause a person not to correct?
Right. What will cause a person not to correct another person that's in transgression?
Yeah, either being too scared that you're gonna make the other person feel some type of way.
Scared. Fear. What else?
They might look at you differently.
Fear. What else? Oh, that's a big one. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. If there's someone else online said at the same time, if they're in sin themselves. Yep. Yep. What else?
What about not knowing?
What do you mean not knowing? Iterate.
Like, if a person doesn't realize that something happened that was actually wrong, but find out after the fact, type thing, or no.
Okay. In some cases, that could be true. But in a high percentage of the case,
They corrected them already.
Oh yeah.
correcting the person already. Okay. What else? Tam?
I'm listening.
Okay. Who else? Who else? Anybody else? That's it? Okay. Those are good ones. Cause you stop yourself from correcting that friendship, fear, not knowing. Okay. So but the scripture says, thou shalt in any wise, it doesn't matter the case, situation, any wise, regardless of how much you know, how scared you are. It says, let's get. Let's get this. Let me think. It says, I'm trying to think of how it go. That we're not to be afraid of those that can harm the flesh.
Matthew 10:28.
What it say?
And fear them not which can kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul. That one?
Okay, yeah. Yes. That's it. Yes, Matthew chapter 10 and 28.
Matthew 10:28.
Mhm.
And fear not them which kill the body.
So why did I pull this?
Because we were talking about not being scared in any circumstance.
Right. The fear of going to one another and showing each other the transgressions versus evil thinking. Just sitting there thinking. That thought process takes you down a whole nother tunnel or dark side. Versus going to that person and saying, hey, you know what? This is what you did. Why? Understanding what happened in this situation, what happened at that process. So now, it says, and fear not them which kill the body, but go ahead.
But are not able to kill the soul.
What's more important, your body or your soul?
So,
Why?
would that follow you when you leave?
All right, there you go. Keep going. Mhm.
But rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell.
Right. So who are we supposed to fear? It says, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. What does that look like? What is that saying?
He has the power to kill our body and our spirit.
Okay. What does it look like? Go ahead, Tim.
Like the Father killing our body and our soul, what does that look like?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much eternal damnation.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay, eternal damnation. Go ahead. Help her out. What does that look like? Come on, Chloe. Judgment. Okay. Iterate. Elaborate.
You're gonna be in trouble with the Most High for not doing your part as far as you going to the person that did something to you, and now the blood is still on your hands because the person that did it don't know, may not know.
Okay.
That's judgment on their part.
Okay.
Wait, how would that blood be upon your name?
Because you didn't warn
But
them.
you didn't tell them.
Did you allow them to? You allowed them to do whatever they did wrong?
Okay. It says, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. Fear not. Okay. We at it. Still at it. Who else? What does that look like? If the Most High is able to destroy both your soul and body, what does that look like? Yes, that's a judgment, but what does that judgment look like? Come on. Speak up. Yep.
The Most High is able to judge our soul, like Tim said, eternal damnation, and not making it to the kingdom. but he's also able to destroy us on earth through not just death, but things won't go well with us, sicknesses and things like that.
That's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
Before we jump to the eternal, we gotta realize what's happening to us each and every day. We gotta start here before we jump. Because yes, that is the ultimate thing, the loss of eternal life. But before you get to the loss of eternal life, we have to look and acknowledge those small judgments within ourselves, within our everyday life. Those things are not just something that coincidentally happen. You have to realize whether it's a loss of a job, loss of money, you hurt yourself, something happened to your car, something happened to your home. Those things that we count big but little, the reason I say big but little, it's big to you, but it's little. It's like, oh, that's nothing. That ain't got nothing to do with my spirit. That don't have anything to do with my walk in this walk and my life in this walk. That is not true. Those little things count because they little to us. Remember, the Lord told us not to be ignorant in what? Let's get that. So we'll lose this, and we'll get that. Sirach chapter 5, Ecclesiastes 5. It's in the Apocrypha for those that do not. Ecclesiastes chapter 5 and verse 15.
Ecclesiastes chapter 5 and verse 15. Mm-hmm. Be not ignorant of anything.
So now, be not ignorant. What does ignorant mean?
Unlearned.
Not learned, not knowing, untaught, unshowed, don't want to know, don't want nobody to show you, don't want nobody to tell you, because guess what? That right there, you stop your ears. In all actuality, you want to use that as an excuse to say, I didn't know. No, you did know. You chose not to continue to hold on to it. So it says, be not ignorant, not knowing in anything. Don't be blinded like, oh, well, I didn't know. This was small. I didn't think. Be not ignorant in no matter, in anything, nothing. Go ahead.
In a great matter or a small.
In a great matter or small. So the Lord covered both. Because sometimes what's big to me is small to you. What's great to you could be small to me. So the Lord said, don't be ignorant in no matter. Any matter, nothing, great or small, whether it's big or small. Because we try to push the small things behind, like, oh, that's small. Surely nothing's gonna happen. That's small, that's minor, that's minute. No. You're gonna be in judgment for everything. You're gonna have to give an account for everything that you do. Everything. You're gonna have to give an account. So lose this. Let me see. Was we finished with Matthew? We was Galatians. Five. Yeah, we done with that. No, go back to Galatians 5:18. We'll read that again and finish that off. We judge Galatians 5 and 3:19 again.
19.
Um,
Galatians chapter 5 and verse 19. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these.
right. Verse 18.
But if you be led of the Spirit, ye are not under the law.
So if we be led of the Spirit, we won't have to worry about the judgment that we're gonna have, because we're gonna listen and obey and follow what thus says the Lord when it pertains to what should be said, what should not be said, how to deal with certain things, how not to deal with certain things, what to do and what not to do when it comes to anything that pertains to your thought process. Now we thinking. We're gonna correct our thoughts before I even get to that. Because when you get a thought that said, why would this person say this? Why would this person do this? The next thing for you to do is to go to Leviticus 19 and 17. So go back to that. We can lose Galatians. Then it was some more. We quoted some more Matthew. We'll get that. Leviticus 19 and 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin. Verse 18.
Thou shalt not avenge, nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people.
Right. Thou shalt not avenge, nor bear any grudge. So now, when we begin to evil think, we in transgression now, even the more. Because now we're gonna avenge. 9 times out of 10, we avenge. How? How do we avenge?
By not talking to him.
Not talking to them. That's grudging. That's grudging. And when we're not talking to them, what excuse do we give ourselves to try to validate our actions? Say it again.
That ain't my problem.
Okay, that ain't my problem. What else? I'm be realistic. I'm good on you. I ain't got nothing to say. I'm just not talking. I'm good. I'm to myself. I ain't gonna say nothing. All of those things, all of those thought processes are I ain't tripping. But the tripping caused you to separate. I ain't tripping caused you to be, I'm just to myself. When we don't think about, you know what, if that was the other way around, how would I want somebody to deal with me? So, thou shalt not avenge, nor bear any grudge. What else? What is that? What that look like?
Holding on to something that should have been talked about a long time ago.
Holding on, that's grudging. What else? No words.
You're not forgiving them.
Not forgiving them, that's grudging. Okay, what else?
So I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
So I know what grudging is, but what if you in a situation to where this person let's say lied on you or done something against you and you reprove them, show them scripture, things like that, then it happen constantly. So you kind of separate yourself from that person because you basically been cautious of their actions of what they, what you experienced before.
Okay. Grudging.
So that's grudging.
Why is that? So that's the question that you ask, right?
Right. So like basically you give this person a chance over and over, and they prove you that they're not honest, and you know what I'm saying, over and over again. So you continue to put yourself in a position to where.
So here's the thing with that. When it comes to keeping the law, statutes, commandments, we have to give each other the benefit of the doubt. We have to give that person a clean slate, a clean chance. Because hold this, remember who we dealing with, right? Matthew 18.
Yeah.
Someone quoted this, so that's good. We don't get it. Matthew 18, verse 15. You read it.
Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone. If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother.
So what did he hear?
His fault.
His fault. How did he show he heard?
By stop doing whatever he was doing.
He repented.
Right.
Now he stopped. He trying to stop. So now they do something else. Christ said, what? How many times? 70 times 70. That person's going to do certain things. Right? Now, let's look at Christ. The next few verses said, but if he don't hear you, you got to go take with you. See, this is where we fall short, because this is where that fear come in. This is where that our own way come in. Somebody doing something, you correcting them, and they give off that they not listening. We got to bring in a witness. But if a person has an issue with lying, there's something there. There's a deeper issue that may not have nothing to do with you. It has something to do with themselves. A lot of times people lie because they don't want to be exposed of what?
Their actions.
Who?
Their actions.
Okay, somebody else.
Their true intention.
Their true intentions. That's a good one. What else?
They really are a liar.
Who they really are. Okay. What do you say?
I was gonna say how they feel.
How they feel. A person will lie because they don't want their evil deed to be exposed. They do not want to be exposed of what they have going on. Now, we all said they thought process, they ways, the things that they do, who they really are, things like that. Lying, people think, oh, that's small. A lot of times people lie because they don't want you to evil think. They don't want to look a certain way. What'd you say? Because they don't want to get in trouble. They don't want to be looked at a certain type of way. They do not want to face judgment that comes from you as an individual. So they lie. So now, two things can happen. Change your outcome and teach them. Change your response and show them. I gotta give you an example. My children lie. All children lie. But through teaching them, I had to show them. Lying makes the situation worse. Lying makes the situation to the point to where no one is going to trust you. No one is going to like you. No one is going to be able to say, validate for you. Why lie? So this is something that you have to take a chance to say, you know what, I'm gonna be honest, straightforward because of me. But children lie to parents because they fear the judgment that's going to come behind it. So what I had to do was I had to back down and not make them afraid of what was going to happen, but hope to show them the damage that they caused with lying. So if you have a sister or you're dealing with a brother who is a liar, stop taking it personal. Yes, it hurt you.
Right.
But you got to be like, hold on. I know you. See, like I tell my children, I know you lying. Because I have facts. I'm like Inspector Gadget. I already know. I know that what you're doing. So if you already know that this is what this person is dealing with, now you have to teach them. You have to show them like, yeah, you did that. And because you did that, this is the damage that this can cause because you electing to do this. Look at Christ. See, this is where everybody lose the grip. Christ set the biggest example on earth. Why is that? Judas Iscariot. Did he lie? Yes, he did. That was the biggest lie a person could ever do. Each and every last one of us that's sitting in here at this table and on these live platforms, we be ready to cut a person short. You lied to me. I'm good. Don't talk to me. Don't come around me. Don't deal with me. I'm good on you. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to see you. I just don't mess with you. What's that? 100, 100. For real, for real. We good. But that's us. Christ broke bread with him. Christ, he was a disciple. He still taught him. He knew that day was coming. He had to see those things in spats on what was going on. He knew that. But look at what he did. He didn't show it. He wasn't like, ugh. He continued to do what he had to do, and he continued to teach him. The problem is we take it personal because a person transgressed the law against themselves. You lying to me don't hurt me. It hurt you. Why is that? It just shows who you are to me. Okay, you have a spirit of lying. You need some help. And because we know that a person is a liar, then we got to learn how to deal with that. It is what it is. When you know that a person has lied, expose it, correct it. You lied.
So we're like, because the scriptures say, I don't know exactly where it say prove a friend. So when you proving a friend, is like, can you explain that?
Proving of a friend is just saying, watching how they move, what they do.
Right.
Correcting them. How are they how are they holding up against correction? Okay. These a friend, when you proving a friend, it's saying that you are watching the things that they deal with. Are you going to be able to handle that situation? Are you going to be able to handle the demons that they fight? Remember, the scriptures tell us by their fruits, right? Let's get that, because I want you ladies to always remember, the actions of a person is going to always be there. Ye shall know them by their fruits. You Matthew 7. Hold this. Matthew 7. and start at verse. Okay, we're gonna start at verse 15. Christ was teaching this to the disciples, and he was saying that he was telling the disciples on how to, beware of prophets, false prophets, and what they bringing out and stuff like that, right? So verse 15.
Matthew chapter 7 and verse 15. Beware of false prophets.
Beware of false teachers, people that come and say, okay, the Lord this, the Lord that. Go ahead.
Which come to you in sheep's clothing.
What is the sheep's clothing? Innocency. They're like, yeah, shalom, I can do that and I can do this. Shalom, that's how some of these women get caught up with these brothers, because they have the Bible in their hand, the fringes, things like that. They teach the word. Yeah. Shalom. Hey, I can teach you, blah, blah, blah. So it says, beware, because they come to you with sheep's clothing. The sheep is the children of Israel. Like, they come into you like they have the spirit of the Most High. Go ahead.
But inwardly they are ravening wolves.
But inside of their thought process that you don't see, inside, he said they're ravening wolves. They have a motive. They have a hidden agenda. What their hidden agenda is, nobody knows. The Most High knows. The Most High will speak to people and tell you, hey, beware this person. I saw this. I had a dream about that. This, that, and the third. Go ahead.
You shall know them by their fruits.
Ye shall know them. You're going to be able to distinguish the difference by what? By their fruits. What are their fruits? So now, if I'm planting a tree, or I'm planting seeds, and I say, hey, I want to plant cucumbers. When I plant those cucumbers, what should come out? Cucumbers. There is a problem if I plant cucumbers and tomatoes grow. That's a big problem, right? Why is that a problem? That's not what I planted. I ain't plant tomatoes. I planted cucumbers. So the reason I said that is because although I planted cucumbers and tomatoes grew, the problem with us is when those tomatoes grow, knowing you dang on well you planted cucumbers, but because you like tomatoes, you like, oh, it's okay. I'm going to eat it anyway. That's what we do with people. We watch the fruit, and we know that the fruit that they display is not righteousness. But because we get caught up in what they like and what we like in them, we accept it. That's a downfall. They are already showing you what they are, but we're being blinded by our own lusts and desires. That's not profitable for you. Because when you plant it, when you started off on your journey, you started off your journey saying, I want something righteous, right? I'm going to plant these cucumbers. Man, do you know what I can do with cucumbers? I can make a cucumber salad. I can do this. I can do that. Man, it's going to be good. And freaking tomatoes grew. Hold on now. I don't really care for tomatoes like that. So if I don't really care for tomatoes like that, I'm going to be a little bit upset. Because I'm going to be like, what? This is not true. This is a lie. I don't want this. So now, let's bring it back to a person that says, Christ said, beware of them. Ye shall know them by their fruits. You're going to distinguish what a person is about by their actions, what they do. Hands down. That ain't something that you got to fumble with. Now you're dealing with this person. You talking to this person, right? This person, yeah, you chatting it up. We good. Hey, you know what? Boom. We building a relationship. Come on, sis. We're going to go out to eat. And you know, she was like, yeah, I got some money, blah, blah, blah. And now you get to the thing, and she's like, oh, well, I left my purse. To you, that's a red flag, right? Because you like, hold on. That's a lie, because you told me that we was going to do this. But what happens through our, we feeling good, we just want to have this relationship, that first sign we cast out. That's that first tomato that grew in the slot that the cucumber was supposed to go in. We cast that behind us. I like tomatoes. It's cool. I like this sister. She cool. So guess what? I'm going to go ahead and accept that. But that was your first sign. So now you got to be like, hold on. So instead of correcting that situation, you accept that situation. When you should have been saying, well, hold on, sis. You should have, said that. You should have crossed your T's, dot your I. But because through fear and I don't want to look some type of way, we sat down the Lord to pick up our own feelings and our emotions. Strike one. We are already starting it off wrong. Making sense?
Yeah.
You following me?
Yeah.
Okay, don't let me keep going and you confused.
Nah, I ain't confused.
Okay.
It's just the example you just used though, and I'm like,
go ahead.
So the example you just used, okay, about the sister, you know what I'm saying, y'all went to school or something. She's like, oh dang, I left my purse. And you like, but you told me you had your purse. And it's like, so like you being a sister, do you be like, okay, well, you finna owe me, or
in that aspect, yeah, okay. Because remember, we had a whole conversation.
Right.
How from the house of a conversation to the store you forgot. And you didn't think. Something is wrong with that. You can't tell me that you forgot. But that's us. We fill in the void. It's okay to be like, okay, sis, I got you. But at the same time, I need to correct you. Because people will play on us. This is a situation. Because what's going to happen with you? Because you don't want to think evil of this person, because you like this a sister, maybe I got it. You're going to leave that sister, go right home, get on the phone with Kenyatta and be like, girl, why such a, we went to the store. There is no way. Tell me, am I tripping? Yeah, you tripping. Yeah, you tripping. Because you should have had that discussion right there. And told that sister, wait a minute, sis, I know I ain't tripping. I ain't trying to trip. I ain't trying to step, and I ain't trying to be mean. I'm going to pay for this tab. But come on. Do you have money? Because the scripture says, understand first. Well, listen, do you have money? If you don't have money, this is what we for. That's where your spirit of the Most High should kick in now. Because now you got to teach this person how to. Now she's like, oh, okay. It's that simple. Like, you don't have to create a narrative. Because you showing her this is what I'm about. I'm about the spirit of the Most High. The Most High said that I'm supposed to love my neighbor. The Most High said that we got all things in common. There's no need. But a person coming out of the world, this is what we do. The world is a doggy dog world. We could get in and get down how we feel. So those be the moments where the moments that we run into, those be the first moments of indicators that we just be like, I'm gonna let that pass, when you don't really let the crap pass. Because you go right to somebody else and start talking. So you didn't let it pass. It's there. You're like, I'm gonna put that behind me. But then your antennas start coming up when you're around this person. Because you didn't deal with it from the beginning. Now everything seemed like, oh, okay, she coming out the blue. Hold up. Let me tilt my glasses and look at her a little bit. Yeah, I love this. Hey, Shalawam. Yeah, girl. Boom. We ain't gonna keep it moving. The next situation come about. I'm like, what? Hold on. See, so the indicators. So hold on before you get your next question. So it says, ye shall know them by their actions. The things that a person does is your indicators. We got to learn to stop ignoring the indicators. Before you say what you got to say, go ahead.
I was just gonna say Ecclesiastes 4:22 say exactly what you're saying.
Okay, so hold this. Let's get Sirach chapter 4.
22 and 23.
And verse 22.
Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 22. Accept no person against thy soul, and let not the reverence of any man cause thee to fall.
Right. The respect for this person caused you to transgress the law. That's what that falling is. I respect this person because she's nice. She don't give me no problems. She don't give me no static. She always helping. She give me, she'll take me wherever I need to go. Except the persons. I'm this person right here. They the head of this, or they got a high statue. This person cool. You know what I'm saying? We just like causes us to overlook certain things. Verse 23.
And refrain not to speak when there is an occasion to do good, and hide not thy wisdom in her beauty.
You said 22 and who?
Oh, that first part of 23 when you were saying that sisters will throw it behind them and overlook it, and they won't speak when they see certain things, and they'll just turn them on an eye because of who the person is. That first part of that verse, and refrain not to speak when there is an occasion. You was in a situation, and that was an occasion for you to teach them, like she was saying we should do, and tell them what they're supposed to be doing, or we don't take it out too.
So verse 23, and refrain not to speak when there is an occasion to do good. What's the good? The keeping of the commandments. That's good. So when you have an opportunity, that's the occasion, opportunity to keep the law, keep the law. When you have an occasion to keep the law and correct somebody, you have to do just that. And don't refrain yourself to say what that person is doing wrong. So now let's really back in to what you was, asking.
So I understand all of that.
Okay.
So back to what you were saying, how like when you let something pass, you and sister y'all out, whatever, and you let something like, okay, I'm gonna throw it behind my back, and then once you get home, okay, now I'm gonna call Kiana and be like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
What you just said. But what if the situation, because every situation is different.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what if the sister is learning herself, and then she like, okay, after the situation happened, she called the sister to see, okay, how should I address the situation? Just that way they won't go to that person and feel like they been disrespectful, whatever the case may be. So they actually calling another sister for help on how to go about the situation, like, how should I, or what should I do? And then they explain to them, well, you need to call that sister, those steps.
Okay. So what's the question?
It really wasn't a question. It was just, it's like the same situation, but, everybody's intention is different. So not calling, like being in that situation and not calling another sister to gossip about the situation, but calling another sister to get help with the situation on how to go about it.
Can she not mention like any names, but just a scenario? You got more, man?
So yes, that's always the way to go it. Ecclesiasticus.
With the 1980.
Yes. Sirach 18, I mean Sirach 19. See, okay. All right. Ecclesiasticus chapter 19 and start at verse 4.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 19 and verse 4.
Mhm.
He that is hasty to give credit is like-minded.
Problem number 1. Hasty. Sometimes we quick to give people credit of being learned because of things we have in common. Amount of years that they've been, age, and title.
How they speak.
And how they
Some words.
speak. Enticing words. So it says, he that is hasty to give credit is like-minded. Like-minded means you don't have it. You don't have the understanding that you need. You like. Your understanding is a little light today. You ain't got it to where you are solid. No. And he that sinneth shall offend against his own soul. So a person that sin, you do it against your own soul. You do this, and he that sinneth shall offend against his own soul. You're gonna do something that's gonna destroy you, not nobody else. Go ahead.
Wait.
Hold on.
And he that sinneth, a person that breaks the law, statutes, and commandments, shall offend, is gonna have transgression against other people, against his own soul. It's gonna count against him.
Okay, so that's not talking about the person that's given the hasty credit. This is talking about the opposite person that actually sinned.
Right.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Whosoever taketh pleasure in wickedness shall be condemned.
A person that takes pleasure in wickedness, you find it fun. You don't find nothing wrong with it. You like, oh, ain't nothing wrong with that. A lot of times people get caught up in that, not really knowing that even communication corrupt good manners. It's only a matter of time. So whoso taketh pleasure in wickedness shall be condemned. Go ahead.
But he that resisted pleasures crowneth his life.
But a person that resisted your own pleasure, that crown of life is talking about the Spirit of the Most High, the understanding to go in and out, understand what they supposed to do, what the Spirit of the Most High wants, how to apply it. The Lord will give you that because you resisted your own pleasures. Verse 6.
He that can rule his tongue.
A person that can rule your tongue, you don't think about what you're about to say, how you're about to say it. Is it necessary? How it's going to affect the next person? Let me redo this again. How am I going to look? He that can rule his tongue shall live without strife, shall live without that back and forth, that argument and things like that. Go ahead.
And he that hated babbling shall have less evil.
He that hated babbling. See, what's another word for babbling? Who?
Gossip.
There you go. See, a person that is like, why would a person hate gossip and babble?
Because it's stir up strife. Like,
That's right, because it does say it's going to stir up strife. It's going to stir up confusion and misunderstandings, right? Why should a person hate this? Because let me tell you something, sisters, we guilty. We want to hear the tea, don't we? Okay. We want to hear the tea. But that tea be gossip. That tea be babbling. And why should a person hate it? Because it's evil? Okay.
It can destroy how you feel about the person that's being talked about, or make them feel different towards them.
Say that again.
It could cause them to feel different about the person that's being talked about.
It can cause a person to feel different about the person. That's true.
It can sow discord.
Say it again.
It can sow discord.
That don't stop. That don't stop us from wanting to hear the tea.
You said why would a person hate gossip?
Why should a person hate gossip?
Because it's talking. So apparently, whoever you got
Because it's wrong. That's right.
Whoever you're talking about ain't in the room or in the present. You gotta have that person that present to talk about the situation.
That's right. I'm sorry. I'm thinking at the same time because this is the scripture that I'm looking for.
Is the one that disquieted friends?
Okay, that's true. So I'm a paraphrase it, and then when it come to my mind, we'll get it. You should hate it because when judgment comes, you're not gonna be guiltless. You're gonna be guilty too. So whatever judgment come down for them people, because you wanted to hear, see, whatever judgment comes down to the two that have that problem, that have that issue, because you wanted to hear the tea, you're gonna fall into that too. So they gonna get a judgment, and so is you, because you did not stop it. You're not gonna be held guiltless. You're not gonna be held all. You was an innocent bystander. No, ma'am. Now y'all bet the Lord said, "Yep, you gonna be at fault too." Now, when it comes to me, we'll get it. Verse 7.
Rehearse not unto another that which is told unto thee.
This is right in our face. This is the scripture I was looking for, and it's right here. Rehearse not unto another that which is told unto thee. That says, do not go and say anything about what was told unto you. Why? Go ahead, read.
And thou shalt fear never the worst.
There it is. Because you that way you ain't gotta, the fair meaning your paycheck is not gonna be the worst. What you get fair is like something you gotta pay. Like you think about the bus. Your bus fare, cab fare. We don't even get on buses and cabs no more. It's the Uber fare. Or the Lyft. The Lyft fare. Thou shalt fare never the worst. If you don't rehearse it, you good. So whatever comes out of that situation, because everybody want to run from correction, let's run from the correction. Run. And be like, I wasn't there. I was just listening. I was just this, and I was just that. Well, what did you say? Did you do anything? Did you correct the situation? And then when it trickle on down and hit the ears of the elders, it's like, whoa, to tell the captain. Now you got to get called. They got to get called. We got to get called. Us has got to get called. Yes.
I'm just trying to make sure I'm following. So the reason why people should hate gossiping is because you're going to get judged along.
You should not want to be partaker in the judgment that is going to come behind not applying the scriptures from the Most High. That's why. First and foremost, because the judgment comes from the Most High. While we sit and fear counsel, are we not fearing that the Most High gonna bring a judgment behind that? We should be fearing the judgment of the Most High. Counsel is there to help you, to show you what not to do and what should have been done, what to do and what not to do, how it should have been handled, how it should not have been handled. That's what the counsel does. But a lot of times we fear the counsel when we should be fearing the Most High, who is going to bring down a judgment for you transgressing his law. That's the thing. Our mental state capacity is set. We got to go in and reset. You know what we do to the clocks, the daylight savings, we go in and reset every clock there is. We put it on the right path. So that's what correction does. It goes in to reset the situation back to the right path on what it's supposed to be. That's correction. Correction is not here to condemn a person and make a person. They is just mediators. We become mediators to say, hold on, wait. Neutral parties. Don't be mad at me. Let me help you. Let me show you what you should do. Let me help you. Let me teach you how to do what you need to do. Now let's reset this situation and let's go about it. But we forget that there is a bigger judge by what we were doing. Just because your path has got reset, the Most High is like, okay, now let me see what you're going to do. Because a lot of times we leave counsel and go right back to the same nonsense. And the Lord be like, okay. All right. And then, the little things that happen within our life. Like, why is this happening? Okay. Did you think about what you were saying? Did you think about the conversation that you had with someone else? So we have to be careful with that. Verse 8.
Whether it be friend or foe.
Whether it's a friend or somebody that you ain't too keen about, go ahead.
Talk not of other men's lives.
Talk not of other men's lives. Let's not discuss that. It has nothing to do with that situation. Go ahead.
And if thou canst without offense.
If you can without offense, this is why we came here. But I jumped all the way up here. So here's some things in there that we got to really understand when we are asking advice and when we are trying to take counsel. You know what I'm saying? Is there a weightier situations that should be dealt with the elders versus my friend? Yes, that's your homie. But there are situations that we all should be able to go into a situation and judge it to the best of our ability. But the problem is your ability enough for that situation to steer that person away from where a big aspirin fall that they finna head into? Is that enough? Yes.
Quick question, so I can make sure I'm following and understanding. On verse 7, when you were talking about, rehearse not unto another that was told it to be, that's referring to.
If I tell you something, it's not your place to go and tell somebody else.
Okay, that's what I was thinking, because I'm like, I thought you were referring to when we talk about Matthew 18 and 15, whatever that person said to you, don't go back to the next person like,
No.
tell me, okay,
It's talking about secrets and stuff like that.
got you, okay.
Go ahead.
Reveal them not.
Right. If thou canst, so this answers somebody else's question. You dealing with a situation. So here's when you deal, ladies, when you deal with situations, you have to be able to determine the level of the situation. First and foremost, Dallas. If one of the little people come to you and say, you know what, Dallas, such and such a get on my nerves. You supposed to say, hey, did you talk to them about what they did? Same thing with you sisters. What's up, girl? What's up, Shalawam? How you doing? What's going on? Nothing. Oh, what's wrong with you? Oh man, this sister such and such I said she did this and I ain't too happy. What happened? See, a lot of times we want to hear what happened, covered by, well, I was trying to hear what happened so I can help her. Well, if you didn't ask her if she went to that sister, you not helping. You just listening for the tea. You know what, sis? Did you talk to this person? Well, nah, I ain't say nothing to her because, okay, well, I tell you what. This is what you need to do. You need to get off the phone with me and you need to go handle that business. You need to go call this sister and talk to her about what you feel. Nah, I'm good. I ain't gonna say nothing. That's where your help come in now, because now you need to correct her about her not wanting to rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin. That's where you come in at. That's where your help come in at. And not try to force the situation and be like, oh, okay, well, yeah, nah, it's cool. Don't let that get to you. Don't let that bother you. And then, all right, so what you cooking today? No, you need to get off the phone and you need to go apply the scriptures, because there is nothing that we need to talk about because you have Satan on you at this point because you do not want to apply the scriptures. That is a big stumbling block for sisters, among sisters. We need to learn to deal with the situation, even if it's a situation with the husband. I'm just mad. My husband, he just this, that, and the third. What's his? Did you talk to him? Yeah, I talked to him. Okay, well, it seemed like you still have a problem. You might want to go back to him, talk to him again, because now you have an issue. You have a problem. Stop letting your platform be the venting platform. We're not supposed to be vent. We're not supposed to let each other vent. That's transgression of the law. If we doing that, we're not gonna be without the judgment. We're gonna fare the worst. You might as well look for it, because things gonna happen to you too, because you're not applying the scriptures the way they should be applied. Yes.
I'm sorry, I don't want to go to the left at all, but what scripture is it? If we don't go to it,
What scriptures? What?
like not allowing somebody to vent to you, or if anybody know what you're referring to, so I can know.
So,
About other people's problems. I don't think she means about, like, if I'm venting to you about my problems, like.
Vent means to what? Just talk. Talk.
Express.
You expressing yourself.
So basically, just not allowing somebody to. I'm sorry, I don't want to go. Like, I'm just trying to make sure I understand.
Let me help. It's okay. This is why we're here. Let me help you explain it. Let me help you understand. Can anybody else help her? Is everybody else lost?
No, I mean, the way she asks it, or you asking like how Kasai was just explaining, you know, the gossiping with somebody else's issues. Like if I had a problem with a sister and I'm calling you talking about the situation versus going to another sister, versus me having a problem for myself and I call you like for help, that's a difference, right? Yeah. So you want like accepting conversation from another sister to talk about someone else, you know, it's different from me actually talking to you about my own problems for you to help me.
Gotcha. So basically, anything that's preventing them to apply the Matthew 18 going to them in the first place.
Right.
So anything that's preventing them from doing that, that is them venting, because it's like, okay, at this point, you shouldn't have talked to them, right?
So now, you
About
what she was saying.
I don't understand her question. The question is
She pretty much don't understand. So did you? I thought you had.
understand venting to each
Yeah.
other.
Yeah. I thought you had your hand up. If you don't,
Besides,
I'm sorry. Not necessarily a question, I just want to make sure I can distinguish what exactly is venting, because
venting. Okay, let me go back. Ready?
Mhm.
You call me. And you're like, hey, Shalom, bubbly self. You're like, hey, Shalom, my son great bless. And I'm like, hey, what's up? And you're like, what's wrong, sis? I'm like, this is she just blah, blah, blah. She, you know, I'm upset because this sister, she did this and this. You're like, oh, it's going to be okay. Don't worry about it, blah, blah, blah. What happened? Sometimes people ask what happened just to get the tea. When your opportunity, you missed it. Because even though you didn't get the tea, when she said, this sister just made me feel some type of way, your next question was to say, have you spoke to this person? And not sit there on the phone and let this person vent the situation out because you want to say, because you want to hear the tea disguised by, let me see if I can help you. See, a lot of times we disguised it by, let me see if I can help you, when you blew past the fact that she didn't even go and talk to this other sister. When you supposed to spin that situation around and say, you need to go deal with that sister. And if you need help, then you can call me, be a witness, however, but to know what's going on first and then be okay, well, nah, this is a little bit above my pay grade. You need to go talk to such and such. No.
Okay, I know.
Now you understand. So now, it says whether it be a friend or foe, men's lives, and if thou canst without offense reveal them not. That part of just sitting around talking about people, we're not supposed to do that. When it comes to if you can without offense reveal them not, that's talking about if you are actually needing some advice and help. You know what do I do in this situation? How do I deal with this situation? I had somebody ask me this, that, and the third, without giving clues and hints of what's going on. Hey, what should I have done, or what should I, this is what I said to this person. Is it anything else I should have said, or is it anything else I could have did? Because at that point, you were judging the situation and giving the best example, the best, the best counsel that you could. But you give you give the advice according to where they transgressed and helping them. Because if that situation is above your pay grade, you need to send them to the elder. Because if you don't and they transgress the law, their blood is on your hands. I'll say it again. If they transgress the law and they don't do what's right according to what you gave them, their blood is on your hand because you caused them, you didn't give them the right counsel. So that's why it's so important that you give the right counsel and advice according to what you know. Do not go above what you can. because you're going to be held accountable. Even I myself, when there is a situation that I know is above my pay grade, I'm telling you off the flip, I think you need to call the elder. It's a little bit above me. It's a little bit above me. Yeah. But I'm pretty sure, and if it's something that I know, give me a second, let me call you back. So I'll call the elder myself and I'm like, hey, this is a situation that I got in hand. This is what I was thinking. This is what I was saying. This is a script. And he's like, yeah, okay, yeah, that's right. Okay, boom. Let me go ahead and go back and I deal with it the right way. But if it's above you, because you're going to be held accountable. You will be held accountable. So lose that. Mo, before we go, you had a question.
I did. So I want to make sure I understand this as well. So if you're talking to a sister, they're not giving out any names, but they're talking to you about how they feel. Like, oh, I talked to the sister, but still trying to get myself together because of what happened in the past. Is that venting? Like wrongfully venting?
It can go into venting because now you have to ask particular questions, and the question is, you're like, did you talk to the sister about it? She's like, yeah, I talked to the sister about it. Okay, your next question should be, did they apologize? Did y'all come to one accord?
Yeah, and that's already been established.
So they're like, yeah, okay. Well, then what's your problem? It ain't even about the sister. It's about you. What's your problem? It sounds like to me you still grudging, and you deal with that person according to grudging. Because if they still having a problem, they haven't let something go. Doesn't matter who it is. It's a grudge. Because why? If this person apologized, if you talk to this person and they was like, no, it's not like that, blah, 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 and they apologize, okay, then since you in transgression. Because why are you still holding on to it? Now, at that point, if you feel like you don't have the capacity to restore that person, then that's when you have to say, I'm going to advise that you deal with the elder, because maybe they can give you some more insight. Maybe they can help you a little further because you did all the things and this is what you should do. But here's the thing. We can do that. And we do that. All praises, right? Do you go back and check? You got to go back and check. Because if you don't go and check up on your family to make sure that they went to the elder to be restored, then you kind of left them out there to play with Satan in the backyard. So you go back and check on them. Did you talk to this person? Did you go holler at them? Did you do this and did you do that? No, I didn't do it. Okay, sis, well, I tell you what. You need to go talk to them. How about I go and, we go together. Because if you don't say something, then I'm going to say something. I'm going to go to the elder and say, hey, you need to talk to the sister because this is the advice I gave and they didn't come. And then that's how the elder get involved and be like, okay, well, I got to step in. You didn't do what you needed to do. But we need to inform each other that this is what's going to happen with us not applying the scriptures. This is us staying inside of the scriptures. Because remember, if in Matthew 18, he said, if they don't hear you, take with you how many? 1, 2 to 3? 1 or 2? That the Most High can help. So everybody, don't be afraid of counsel. Counsel is to help you put you back on the path. Not to set you on fire and dig that ditch for you. It's not it. It's to help you. So now, all of that. Question. Now we gotta get back to your question.
I thought it was answered.
You sure? No, because everybody had questions, and so I had to bring them out, and they, brought up, why they did what they did. So if your question is answered,
Yeah, I
all
don't think
right.
I had a question. It was just like,
How do you, so your question was like, what is the next thing you're supposed to do as far as what is it? I'm sorry, I just ripped a hole in my stuff. If a person is lying and saying something to them, when you give up on them, basically, you don't give up on them. You just got to cheat you with the lying, or and then we brought out like, how do you, the first signs is there. You got to pay attention to the signs. You can't blow past certain things when it comes to where your question was about proving a friend. That's what proving a friend is. You gotta when you proving a friend, you gotta look at what this person is dealing with, what they bringing about, helping them. They show the things that they have issues and problems with, and so you deal with it according to the scriptures before you lock horns and be like, "This is my ace, this is my buddy. This is what it is." Like, hey, but helping them in the ministry, because when you start that process off, then it's going to begin to show. This person is going to be like, well, dang, why am I really your friend? Why am I really here? Am I here because I really want to learn what the laws are
right.
and repent, or am I just here because of your companionship? That's a difference. And that's how we go with, people that are repenting, people that are coming in, stuff like that. Even with sisters that's already here, that's been here long enough, we can sit and tag along for a minute before we really kick in and be like, dang, this is really required.
Right.
It's easy to change our outer appearance. That's real easy to do. But is it easy to say that I'm going to put away my mental thought process? Your mental thought process is what defines you, what you think. Because the Lord said it's not what goes inside of a man, it's what comes out. What come out of your mouth? That makes you vile, that makes you a bad person, but it also teaching somebody else. So, question. You had a question?
I'm gonna ask you after.
Okay. So yeah. So that's what, proving a friend is. Proving what that person is. Yes, a person come in, they putting their best foot forward. That's what they supposed to do. They supposed to, come to class and learn. But along the way, something gonna happen. Is all your tests and trials scheduled? Put on a schedule for you that you know about?
No.
All right then. So when that person get put through the fire, that's what you look at. How are they going to handle, or are they going to stand firm, or are they going to fold? What are they going to do? That's what you look at. Like, okay, is you built for this? Because I'm telling you, I'm built for this. This is where I'm going to be. I'm built for it. And just because I sit behind this desk don't mean that I don't go through the fire. I just pick it. I'd be like, this is how I'm going to handle that. Some days Satan be there, be like, you is frustrated. And I'd be like, yep, I am. Then I get a phone call and I'd be like, but I'm not frustrated at this person. Hey, what's up? How you doing? Yep. Satan make them say stuff. He be like this. Okay. When pressure comes, we got to learn how to deal with the pressure. And we got to learn how to respond to it. So, yes, Jazz.
I actually did forget
Okay, don't worry about it. So now, this it's not funny, but we partially got into what we were talking about, the evil thought process, but it's 12 o'clock. It's 12:15 to be exact, and that is our time. We definitely can pick up. We will pick this up next week because we're gonna get into why we need to get rid of that evil thought because we are in transgression. That evil thought linger within your mind is something you got to deal with, and it's something you have to do, and it's something that you got to see that should not be there and should not be happening and should not be part of your life, a choice that you choose to make. And where an evil, evil thinking comes from within yourself. Evil thinking comes within you. And I utilized the example of the Christ himself. Somebody did something to him. He knew that he was going to lose his life. But the way that he handled the situation was, and he was put to through many tests. And the way he handled it according to scripture. He didn't let that stop him from teaching and being an example. He didn't change his attitude towards Judas because at the end, Judas caught his own judgment, and that judgment came from the Most High. So when we quick to want to separate ourselves, where do we get that example from? Because Christ didn't separate himself from Judas. He did everything that he possibly could do to be an example and teach him right from wrong and what to do and what not to do. Judas was not always a bad person. Something happened along the way. And that's the same thing with us. I didn't start off being a bad person to you. Something I did caused me to become. It caused that bad blood, caused that feeling. Something I did. And it grew, that seed grew because of something that you did not do. And something that you did not do was correcting it. That's the point that we have to take. If you are growing apart from somebody and there's what we want to call bad blood, and now you don't want to be around that person or that person make you feel some type of way, anger you, that's because there's some things that you are allowing to grow into a tree that you should deal with. Now, when you're dealing with certain things, deal with it in the spirit of the Most High and not in your own feelings and in your own flesh, because that will take a shrewd turn for the worse if you're not in the spirit of the Most High. So, again, we have a few more to go. We'll get through it on the next class. We are at our time. We are at our mark. So all praises to the Most High, for Yahweh Shai, for you ladies coming out, taking the time out of your, to sit in on the platform. I hope everyone is enjoying the Sabbath. Until next time, before we go, if there are any questions, you can go ahead and ask your question, or you can just inbox me and I'll get that question as soon as I can. All right. Right. And all of you ladies that are on both platforms, we will not go live next week because we will not be where we could go live. So we will not have women's class on next Saturday. We will see you all the Saturday after. which is like October something. So all praises to the Most High through Yahushua for coming out. I hope that this class helps someone, at least one person, if not all. It helped us understand a little bit more on grudging and things like that, and what we're supposed to do and how we're supposed to do it. So with that, if there aren't any questions, we'll say shalom.
Shalom.
Conference recording stopped.
Hey Miss Pina, how are you? Hey Michelle. Hey Thurston, Most High Christ bless you too. Hey Maya. Thank you ladies for coming out. Again, make sure you share the class and make sure you come back and join for the Sabbath service with the Elder Shem Shalom for the Sabbath service. And to see you all that are on your way. See you all shortly. Shalom. I miss the noodle.
It's always chicken.
All praises. Sis. Hey Anna, I didn't see you. Shalom. You snuck in here. I ain't see you. All right, ladies. Shalom. Gotta go. Gotta prepare lunch. Until next time. Christ bless you all. I missed the man. Hi. I ended it already. Oh, no, not yet. Hi, Mr. Man.
Oh, bring the bags up here, BJ. Bring the bags up here.
Yeah.